नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद, जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। Reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, Chapter 3, Text number 11. Dasya Sakhya Vatsalya Shrangara Chari Rasa Chari Bhavera Bhaktayata Krishna Taravasha. Dasya Sakhya Vatsalya Shrangara Chari Rasa Chari Bhavera Bhaktayata Krishna Taravasha. Dasya Sakhya Vatsalya Shrangara Chari Rasa Chari Bhavera Bhaktayata Krishna Taravasha. Sakhya Vatsalya Shrangara Chari Rasa Chari Bhaver Bhaktayata Krishna Taravasha. Dasya Sakhya Vatsalya Shrangara Chari Rasa Chari Bhaver Bhaktayata Krishna Taravasha. Matajis. Chari Rasa Chari Krishna. Dasya, servitude. Sakhya, friendship. Vatsalya, parental affection. Sringara, conjugal love. Chari, 4. Rasa, mellows. Chari, 4. Bhavera, of the sentiments. Bhakta, devotees. Yata, as many as they are. Krishna, Lord Krishna. Tara, by them. Vasha, subdued. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Servitude, Dasya, friendship, Sakhya, parental affection, Vatsalya, and conjugal love, Sringara, are the 4 transcendental mellows, rasas. By the devotees who cherish these 4 mellows, Lord Krishna is subdued. Purport. Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Sringara are the transcendental modes of loving service to the Lord. Shantarasa, or the neutral stage, is not mentioned in this verse because although in Shantarasa one considers the absolute truth, the sublime great, one does not go beyond that conception. Shantarasa is a very grand idea for materialistic philosophers, but such idealistic appreciation is only the beginning. It is the lowest amongst the relationships in the spiritual world. Shantarasa is not given much importance because as soon as there is a slight understanding between the knower and the known, active, loving, transcendental reciprocations are and exchanges begin. Dasyaras is the basic relationship between Krishna and his devotees. Therefore, this verse considers Dasya the first stage of transcendental devotional service. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutali Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yutapad Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutali Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I offer my humble obeisances unto all the devotees who assembled for today's Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita session. Today we are discussing from the third chapter of Adi Leela. This chapter describes the external reasons for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's descent. The external reasons for the Lord's descent are to spread the process of the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. Krishna Nama Sankirtana he wanted to spread. He also wanted to bestow Vraja Bhakti, Krishna Prem, to everyone. But there are more private, confidential and internal reasons for his appearance. They will be discussed in the next chapter. And those reasons were centered on his experience of Srimati Radharani's mood in separation from Krishna. Internal reasons and external reasons. And in this particular shloka, which is very much in the beginning of the chapter, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes that a devotee can connect with the Supreme Lord in one of the four mellows or rasas. What are they? Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Sringara, Chari rasa. Dasya, the emotion of being a servant of Krishna. Serving Krishna in the mood of a servant. But service to Krishna can be done in other moods also. But here, the mood is that I am a servant and Krishna is the master. Krishna is my master, let me serve him. That is Dasyarasa. Next is Sakhyaras. In Sakhyaras also there is service. But a Sakhya Bhakta considers oneself a friend of Krishna and Krishna friend of oneself. He is my friend. So that's considered little higher. Considering the Lord as your dear friend, not only a master. And the next rasa is Vatsalyaras, where a devotee considers the Lord as a dependent child. Devotee considers oneself superior to the Lord. Superior means I am a parent, I am a mother, I am a father. So my job is to protect this child. serve this child in the mood of being a parent. When the child is doing some mischief, I need to pull the ear of the child and discipline the child. Just like Yashoda Mata is running behind Krishna in that small picture. So Yashoda Mata takes a stick and she runs behind Krishna. And when Krishna eats dirt, Yashoda becomes very anxious. She says, "Open your mouth." Krishna opens his mouth. Out of fear of Mother Yashoda. Yashoda Mata says, "You are doing so much mischief, I'll tie you." Yashoda Mata says that because you are doing so much mischief, I will bind you to this wooden grinding mortar. No toys for you. No playmates for you. No milk products for you. No independence for you. The supremely independent Lord, Sarva Swatantra Swami of the entire creation, he is being bound by a rope of Mother Yashoda's love. That is Vatsalyaras. Similarly, there are other devotees also in Vatsalya Bhav. Then next is Sringara Rasa. Sringara is Madhurya in another way. So it's the mood of considering the Lord as lover. It's even more intimate than Vatsalya Rasa. There is more freedom of expression. So these are the four rasas. Of course, there is a fifth rasa, which is lesser than all these four rasas, that is Shanta Rasa. Why that Shanta Rasa is not a preference of devotees is explained by Prabhupada in the purport, we just read it, self-explanatory. So in Shanta Rasa, there is an understanding of the divinity of the Supreme Lord's position, but there is no active engagement in service. There is a preliminary stage of love of Godhead, but unless one starts actively rendering service, one actually does not experience the pleasure of Krishna Prema. So, therefore, in this shloka, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami began with Dasyarasa. Let's begin with Dasyarasa. Shantarasa is not the preference of many aspiring devotees. Now, let's discuss about these rasas one by one. That's what the shloka is. Dasyarasa. Dasyarasa means to consider oneself as a humble, menial, eternal servant of Krishna, and to be a servant of Krishna is the swarupa of all living beings. It's the swarupa, it's the natural constitutional position of all living beings. To consider oneself as a servant of Krishna and to act as a servant of Krishna. Even the devotees who are in the other rasas like Vatsalya, Sakhya and Madhurya, they are also servants of Krishna only, by the way. Even they are servants of Krishna, but their service is flavored by a particular mood, a particular bhava. As a friend, Sakhya bhava, or as a parent, Vatsalya bhava, or as a lover, Madhurya bhava or Sringara bhava. But essentially, servitude, the feeling of being a servant of Krishna is common amongst all the rasas. And in fact, that feeling, that emotion of being a servant of Krishna is the topmost emotion that anyone can ever aspire for. Even Krishna aspires for that position. Krishna Dasa Abhimane Ananda Sindhu Koti Brahma Sukha Nahe Tara Eka Bindu. The conception of being a servant of Krishna, the emotion of being a servant of Krishna throws a devotee into a pool of ecstasy, an ocean of ecstasy. You take one drop of that ocean of ecstasy of being a servant of Krishna and compare it with Brahmananda, the happiness of merging into impersonal Brahman, Brahma Jyoti of Krishna. That is also, there is some Ananda, Brahmananda is there. But that ocean of Brahmananda is insignificant in comparison to a drop of Bhakti Ananda. Drop of Ananda that a Das of Krishna experiences. Koti Brahma Sukha Nahe Tara Eka Bindu. That's the glory of Krishna Dasa Abhimana. Even great avatars of Krishna, Krishna has unlimited avatars, as Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. Sambhavami yuge yuge. I appear in every yuga, in some form or the other, to protect devotees, to punish miscreants, and to establish dharma. I appear in multiple forms in different yugas, different millenniums. So although Krishna is the origin of several such avatars, even the avatars also are in the mood of being a servant of Krishna. The expansions of Krishna, like Balaramji, the primeval expansion of Krishna, the first expansion of Krishna, he is also in the mode of a servant of Krishna. Balaramji renders service to Krishna. Although he is an elder brother, in that sense, he also has Vatsalya affection towards Krishna. Vatsalya bhav is there in Balaram. And as a Gopa boy who accompanies Krishna in tending cows in the forest, who regularly goes with Krishna into the forest, he also has Sakhya bhav, definitely. Although Balramji has Sakhya bhav and Vatsalya bhav, still he has this Dasya bhav also. He has the emotion of being a servant of Krishna. Whenever Krishna becomes a little tired, while Krishna never gets tired, but as a part of this pastime, while wandering in the forests barefoot, along with the cows and the calves, Krishna sometimes apparently becomes a little tired. Then he sleeps under a tree, keeping his head in the lap of a gopa. Then Balramji comes and massages Krishna's feet. And some other gopas will take some tree branches and start fanning Krishna. You see? In this way, all the devotees belong to different rasas like Sakhyaras or Vatsalyaras or Madhuryaras. They want to serve Krishna in that rasa. So Dasya emotion is common amongst all the rasas. Dasya emotion is very common. Advaitacharya, who is Avatara Tattva, Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupaswarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Krishna manifests in 5 tattvas, Panchatattva. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam. First tattva is Bhakta Rupa Tattva, the form of a devotee. That is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. Mahaprabhu is Krishna, but he is acting like a devotee. Therefore, he is Bhakta Rupa Tattva. Bhakta Rupa. Swarupakam, his own personal expansion. Swarupa, his own personal immediate expansion. That is Balaramji, who manifests as Nityananda Prabhu. He is the Swarupa Tattva. Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam. Third is Bhakta Avataram. There is the incarnation Tattva. So Avatara Tattva, that is Advaitacharya. Advaitacharya is a combined incarnation of Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu. So Swarupa Tattva also thinks of oneself as Das of Krishna. Means Nityananda Prabhu thinks himself as a servant of Krishna. Bhakta Rupa Tattva, Lord Chaitanya also thinks of himself as a servant of Krishna. Avatara Tattva, who is that? Advaitacharya. He also thinks of himself as servant of Krishna. Bhakta Rupa Tattva, Swarupa Tattva, Avatara Tattva, all three are thinking themselves as servants of Krishna. Dasa bhav is there. What about the other two? Bhaktavataram Bhaktakhyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Bhaktakhyam means one who is known as a devotee. That is Srivas Thakur. Naturally, he thinks of himself as a servant of Krishna. Namami Bhakta Shaktikam, who is the Bhakta Shakti, the energy of devotion. Gadadhar Pandit. Even he also thinks of himself as servant of Krishna. You see, all these Panchatattvas, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhara, Srivasa, all 5 of them, although they are Krishna's expansions, Krishna appears in these 5 features. They are all different manifestations of Krishna in different moods. But what is common amongst all of them? All of them consider themselves as servants of Krishna. Thus, Dasa Bhava is a constant and common emotion amongst all categories of servants of Krishna. Right from a neophyte Bhakta up to the supreme devotee of Krishna, that is Srimati Radharani. Everybody has this mood of being a servant of Krishna. Okay? So, this Dasa Bhava is very, very prominent, and all of us are here to develop that Dasa Bhava, to come to our original constitutional position as a servant of Krishna. Even Krishna aspires to be a servant of Krishna. Yesterday we were discussing Vatapatra Shai. Even Krishna also likes to embrace this emotion of being a servant of Krishna rather than being Krishna. That's the secret confidential message, reason for Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Srimati Radharani is rendering service to Krishna in Sringara Rasa, in Madhurya Rasa, but Srimati Radharani is rendering so much of intimate service to Krishna in the spiritual world. However, Srimati Radharani experiences 10 million times more happiness than even Krishna who receives her service. Here is Radharani rendering service to Krishna. Both are experiencing happiness, but Krishna's happiness is not as much as Radharani's happiness. Because the happiness of being a servant of Krishna is more than happiness of being the supreme absolute truth. Therefore, Krishna aspires to embrace the emotions of Srimati Radharani. Radha bhavadyuti subalitam naumi Krishna swarupam. He embraced the mood of Srimati Radharani. He accepted the complexion of Srimati Radharani. Taking her complexion and emotion with him, he appeared as golden Gauranga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Why? He wants to taste the emotion of being a servant of Krishna. And the topmost of all the servants of Krishna is Srimati Radharani. And he wanted to taste that emotion, her emotion. Therefore, he appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jai Shri Shri Radha Ras Bihari Bhagavan Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. That's about Dasyarasa. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there are beautiful descriptions about all these rasas in different chapters. Prominently, in the 8th chapter of the Madhya Leela, there was a beautiful conversation that happened between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his dear devotee Ramananda Rai on the bank of Godavari when Mahaprabhu was in his South India tour. There, Mahaprabhu was asking several questions to Ramananda Rai. First he asked, what is the highest attainable goal of a human being? What's the greatest sadhya? Sadhya means attainable goal. Then Ramananda Rai said, follow varnashram system. Then Mahaprabhu said, Eho Bahya, tell me something better. So like that, Lord Ramananda Rai was giving so many such proposals. This is better, that is better. Mahaprabhu rejected initial proposals, then accepted a few later proposals. And finally, when he came to Prema Bhakti, Mahaprabhu said, yes, this is wonderful, this is amazing. But Prema Bhakti is fine, but Prema Bhakti is experienced and expressed in multiple flavors. I want those flavors. I want you to go a little deeper into this Prema Bhakti. Then Ramananda Rai spoke about Dasya Prema. Then Mahaprabhu said, this is very good, amazing. Go ahead. Then he said, Sakhya Prema is higher than Dasya Prema. That's wonderful. But there is something more. Say that. Then Ramananda Rai said, Vatsalya Prema is superior to even Sakhya Prema. Mahaprabhu said, wonderfully, oh, Uttam. Please say something more. Then Ramananda Rai said, Kanta Prema or Sringara Rasa or Madhurya Rasa is superior to even Vatsalya Bhava also. Then Mahaprabhu says, say something more. There is nothing more. So we have come to the limit, Sadhyavati, the highest attainable goal of Madhurya Prema or Sringara Rasa. Then Mahaprabhu said, no, go deep into it. Then Ramananda Rai goes deeper. He says that the Sringara Rasa or Madhurya Prema is experienced in two flavors, Parakiya Rasa and Swakiya Rasa. Swakiya Rasa is wedded love, means the love that a wife has for her husband. And Parakiya Rasa means the love that a lover has for her beloved. This Swakiya Rasa is seen in Dwaraka and Parakiya Rasa is seen in Vrindavan, between Krishna and the gopis of Vrindavan. And amongst all the gopis of Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani is the supreme. Then Mahaprabhu said, yes, now we have reached the summit. Right? So like that, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, the conversation between Ramananda Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reveals the glories of these four rasas even more. I just summarized in 3-4 minutes, but there are many more details. I'll give the details. But let me first recollect other sections where these rasas are described. Another prominent episode in Chaitanya Charitamrita is the 19th chapter of Madhya Leela, where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving his instructions to Rupa Goswami. There he describes the science of devotional service very elaborately, and he speaks about these 5 rasas also, very elaborately. Then even in his Sanatana Siksha also, which begins from 20th chapter of Madhya Leela and goes all the way to 24th chapter, again he speaks about the Abhideya and he speaks about these rasas briefly. Like the Chaitanya Charitamrita is filled with the descriptions of these rasas. Now let's go again deeper. Begin with Dasyarasa. Ramanandare explains the glory of Dasyarasa with this beautiful shloka. He quotes this shloka. Bhavantamevanucharan nirantara prashanta nishesha manorathantaram kadahamaikанtika nitya kinkara praharshayishyami sanatha jivitum. Bhavantamevanucharan nirantara. A Dasya Bhakta, a devotee who wants to embrace the emotions of servant of Krishna, he is constantly longing to be a companion of Krishna. Bhavantam eva anucharan nirantara. Oh Lord, nirantara, always let me be your anuchara. Anuchara means one who sincerely follows, here in the mood of a servant. I want to be your anuchara. I want to be your associate. Not exactly like friend or lover, but your follower, rendering services to your lotus feet. Bhavantamevanucharan nirantara prashanta nihishesha manorathantaram. Prashanta, let me be peaceful, calm, composed, sober, not so distracted and hyper. When Kalakrishnadas was accompanying Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his South India Yatra, when they reached this Tamil Nadu somewhere, Kalakrishnadas was distracted by Bhattatharis. He was allured by some gypsy ladies. They just kidnapped him and then took him to their camp. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to personally go to their camp and pull Kalakrishnadas by his shikha and rescue him, reclaim him. So Kalakrishnadas just got distracted like this. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu allowed Kalakrishnadas to continue to serve him. Till when? Till he reached Jagannath Puri back. This incident happened somewhere in the middle of the yatra. Hare Krishna. Seeking your blessings, Devakinandan. I feel very awkward and embarrassed to speak in front of so many exalted Vaishnavas here, Brajahari Prabhu, Devakinandan Prabhu Maharaj. But I'll continue to do my seva with their blessings. Hare Krishna. So Kalakrishnadas was rescued by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he continues to serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu till he reached Jagannath Puri. But when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reached Jagannath Puri, Kalakrishnadas was repentant for his mistake, but Mahaprabhu said, I am not responsible for this person anymore. I am not responsible for him. Let him do whatever he wants. But Nityananda, Jagadananda, Damodara, Mukunda, these four devotees, especially Nityananda Prabhu, who is the one who recommended the name of Kalakrishnadas and allowed him to accompany Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his tour, he found out some service for Kalakrishnadas. He said, Oh Lord, now that you have come back from your South India Yatra back to Jagannath Puri, some devotee has to go and inform this news to the devotees at Navadvip, Shantipur. So we are sending him. Are you okay with it? Do whatever you want, Mahaprabhu said. So that devotee who is rejected by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, apparently, is given some service, some engagement, some blessing by Nityananda Prabhu, Jagadananda, Damodara Mukunda, and finally he went to this place, Shantipur, and informed Advaitacharya, Srivas Thakur, Murari Gupta, Haridas Thakur, Sachi Mata, that Mahaprabhu is back from his South India Yatra after a couple of years. You please, you can plan to come there for Jagannath Rath Yatra. So he received great blessings from all these great souls. Now, next time Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu planned to go to Vrindavan Yatra. There again, our devotees are suggesting that please take somebody with you. Please take somebody with you. Then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recollected this incident. This Kalakrishnadas came with me as my servant, but his mind is not in his control. His intelligence and his senses were not in his control. He went to Bhattatharis. He was allured by them. I had to come and rescue him. So I want somebody who is Prashanta, who is peaceful, calm, composed, whose senses and mind are in control. So, this is the requirement of a dasa. Dasa means servant. Bhavantamevanucharan nirantara prashanta nishesha manorathantara. Bhavanta eva anucharan nirantara. Kalakrishna Das got the opportunity to be anuchara, to follow Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to serve him. But that prashanta is missing there. But not only accompanying the master in the mode of a servant, but mind has to be peaceful and composed and calm also. Prashanta, not agitated, not udvegakaram, but prashanta. Mahaprabhu said, I want someone whose mind is little peaceful, not turbulent, not distracted, not agitated, not hyper, but sober. Prashanta, not only that, nihishesha manorathantara. Nihishesha. Sasesha means some reminder is there. Nishesha means no, nothing else is remaining. Nishesha manorathantara. Manoratha means desires. So this person should not have any material desires. Prashanta nishesha manorathantara. Kadaha maikantika nitya kinkara. So a devotee, a servant devotee should follow the footsteps of the master, to follow the instructions of the master, then should be very peaceful, calm, sober, composed, gentle, grave. Not only that, no material desires, no distractions. Mind is not disturbed by many other material thoughts. Nishesha manorathantara. Kadaha maikantika nitya kinkara should always aspire for becoming a dedicated, unalloyed, one-pointed servant of the Lord. Nitya kinkara. Let me always serve him. Aikantika nitya kinkara. Aikantiki bhakti. Praharshaishyami sanatha jivitam. Then I'll be very happy, considering my Lord as my Natha, Sanatha. This is my jivitam. So this is the glory of Dasya Bhakti. Then, the second, which is described in this shloka, is Sakhya Bhakti. Sakhya Bhakti means there is a feeling of fraternity, considering the Lord as one's dear friend, considering oneself as the Lord's dear friend, considering the Lord as one's equal. We can see that in Gopas in Vrindavan. So while Dasya Bhakti is predominated by feeling of being a servant of Krishna, this Sakhya Bhakti is predominated by Vishrambha, intimacy, fraternity. Vishrambha Pradhana Sakhya Bhakti. In this also there are two flavors. There is Kevala Sakhya Bhakti and there is Aishwarya Jnana Yukta Sakhya Bhakti. Means the Sakhya Bhakta understands the opulences of Krishna, like Arjun, Bhima. They are the Sakhya Bhaktas in Hastinapur, Dwarka. They are also understanding Krishna's divine position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they also have friendly feelings towards Krishna. But the Gopas of Vrindavan, they are different. They don't understand Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though the Lord exhibits his Godhood so vividly. The Lord exhibits his Godhood. He says that all the Gopas take shelter of Krishna. Krishna, our dear friend, this forest fire is spreading in all directions. You please protect me from this forest fire. Protect us from this forest fire. Krishna says, close your eyes. All the Gopas close their eyes. Krishna swallows the forest fire. Then he says, open your eyes. They opened. Forest fire is not there. So, all the Gopas, for a moment, they got stunned. My God, Krishna is so powerful. Looks like he's a Devata. He's a God. He's a Devata. He has so many powers. He just swallowed forest fire so effortlessly. Then the next thought in the Gopas is, if Krishna is a Devata, we are also Devatas. Because we are his friends. So like that, all the Gopas were enjoying with Krishna. Sometimes Krishna, Balaram, they all play. They make themselves into teams. Many years back in Kanpur, I heard this pastime from His Grace Devakinandan Prabhu in Kanpur. He was describing the pastime of Pralambasur. How Balramji and Krishna made themselves into two teams with their associates, and they had some game. And in that game, Balramji's team won and Krishna's team lost. and some of the members of Balramji's team had to climb on the backs of Krishna's team, and Krishna's team has to carry them. So sometimes Sakhya Bhaktas can even climb on the backs of Krishna. They may give their lap to Krishna to lie on. They may give their back to Krishna. They may take the back of Krishna to sit on. That is the glory of Sakhya Bhaktas. Sukadeva Goswami describes this Sakhya Bhakti in a beautiful shloka, especially in the 12th chapter of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam paradaivatena maya shritanam naradarakena shakam vijahruh krita punya punjah. Itham satam brahma sukhanubhutya. There are some great personalities, they experience Brahma Sukha, Brahma Sukhanubhutya. There are other devotees, Sakhyam Gatanam Paradaivatena, Dasyam Gatanam Paradaivatena. In the mode of a servant, they consider the Supreme Lord as their Paradevata, the supremely worshipable deity, and they worship Him, they serve Him. That is another category. First, those who want to enter Brahman. Second, they want to serve the Lord as a servant. But here, there are other people. Maya Shritanam Naradarakena. Maya Shrita means people who have taken shelter of Maya, materialistic people. When they see Krishna, you know what they think? Naradarakena. Krishna is just like any other ordinary child in our neighbor household. He is also stealing butter. He is also doing a lot of mischief. He is being scolded and chastised by his mother. Naradarakena, ordinary child. But the Sakhya Bhaktas are special. Maya Shritanam Naradarakena Shakam Vijahruh Krita Punya Punjaha. But all the Gopas of Vrindavan, they are so fortunate, they are so exalted that they are getting an opportunity to play with Krishna. The first category people, those who want to attain Brahman, they don't play with Krishna. Second category, those who worship the Lord as Paradevata, they don't play. Maya Shritanam, no possibility to play only. Even though they consider Krishna as ordinary child. But these Gopas, they play with Krishna on an equal level. They climb on the back of Krishna. When Krishna is imitating some peacocks and dancing like peacocks, and he would say that, oh, these peacocks don't know how to dance. See, I'm dancing better than them. And all the other Gopas would surround Krishna and then they clap. Wow, wow, amazing, Krishna, you're dancing so nicely, like peacock. They praise Krishna, but they consider Krishna as their equal also. Now, in the 10th canto, 21st chapter, Sukadeva Goswami speaks a beautiful shloka. How Krishna is accompanied by all these beautiful Gopas and cows and enters into the forest of Vrindavan. Barhapidam natavaravapuh karnayor karnikaram bibhradvasah kanaka kapisham vaijayantim chamalam randhran venoradhara sudhaya purayan gopa vrindair vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishad gita kirtihim. Barhapidam natavaravapuh. Krishna wears a beautiful resplendent peacock feather which is like a rainbow on his head. Natavaravapuhu. Krishna has this beautiful form like a drama artist. Bluish body, lotus-like eyes, yellow cloth, yellow dress, Vaijayanti mala in his neck, and nice hair dressing and maybe small turban and peacock feather on head. He looks like a drama artist. Natavaravapuhu. Karnayor karnikaram. He wears a karnika flower, sometimes to the right ear, sometimes to the left ear. Bibhradvasaha kanaka kapisham. Bibhradvasaha means Krishna wears a resplendent cloth, yellow dhoti. Kanaka kapisham, it has golden hue. Vaijayantim chamalam. He wears a Vaijayanti mala, which is made of multiple types of fragrant forest flowers. Randhran venoradhara sudhaya purayan gopa vrindair. While entering the forest of Vrindavan, he would fill the nectar of his lips into the holes of this flute. Something that has holes cannot hold anything. But Krishna's flute that has holes all over its body holds millions of ragas. Although Krishna's flute is dry,
Krishna's flute can moisten the eyes of all those who hear Krishna's flute song. Randhran Venoradhara Sudhaya Purayan Gopa Vrindair. Gopa Vrindair. While playing his flute, Krishna would enter the forest of Vrindavan along with Gopa Vrindair, all the Gopa boys. And all these Gopa boys are glorifying Krishna. Gita Kirti, they are glorifying Krishna. While they are glorifying Krishna, Krishna is playing his flute. Very perfectly blending his flute song into the natural sounds of Vrindavan. What are the natural sounds of Vrindavan? The waterfalls, the birds chirping, and the breeze moving the trees and making some pleasant sound. And all these natural sounds and Krishna's flute song, they just blend such a wonderful ambience of Vrindavan. In that ambience, the Gopas are very beautifully glorifying Krishna. Krishna is accompanied by all these Gopas throughout the day. He would play. They would imitate frogs. They would imitate monkeys. They would imitate flying birds. They would just look down into the wells and then shout. And when the resound comes, they enjoy, they laugh. So this is how the Gopas are happily enjoying with Krishna. They are on different plane. And there is Aishwarya Gnana Yukta Sakhyaras, where our Arjuna, sometimes he worships the Supreme Lord Krishna as Supreme Lord. Sometimes he considers him as my friend. Hey Govinda, hey Yadava, hey Sakheti. Like that. He addresses him very normally, like a friend. So next rasa described in this shloka is Vatsalyaras. Vatsalyaras is the feeling of a parent of Krishna, mother of Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ramananda Rai quotes this shloka. Nemam virincho nabhavo nashrir apyanga samshrayat prasadam lebhire gopi yattat prapa vimuktidat. The position of a Vatsalya Bhakta or mother or father of Krishna is higher than the position of the Sakhya Bhaktas. Sometimes Mother Yashoda can chastise these boys also. She can chastise Madhumangal also, Krishna's friend. But Madhumangal cannot chastise Mother Yashoda. So there is, in hierarchy, although by doing an unbiased comparison, you will find a hierarchy in all these rasas. Every devotee who loves Krishna in a particular rasa considers himself very satisfied and happy in that particular relationship with Krishna. There may be 5 floors in a building. 5th floor is definitely the highest floor, but one who is living in the 3rd floor is happy. He is happy. Not that one day Sakhya Bhakta will become Vatsalya Bhakta or Madhurya Bhakta. Not necessary. That can be their eternal mood also. They want to serve the Lord in that mood also. But if you do a comparison, they are higher. Vatsalya devotees are higher than Sakhya devotees. So, Nemam virincho nabhavo nashrirapyanga samshrayat prasadam lebhire gopi yattat prapa vimuktidat. The mercy that Srimati Yashoda Mata got from Krishna is unparalleled. Niyamam virincho, Brahma did not get this mercy. Na bhavo, Shiva did not get this mercy. Na shrir, even Lakshmi Devi, Anga Samsharyat, although she is very close to the Lord, she did not get that mercy. Prasadam lebhire gopi yattat prapa vimuktidat. That is a prasada, special mercy that Srimati Yashoda Mata got from Krishna. She got the privilege of tying Krishna. Prabhupada writes in one purport of Damodar Leela only. Although for argument's sake, people may think that they have become one with the Lord. Let's accept for an argument. For an argument's sake, let's accept that they have become one with the Lord. But a devotee becomes greater than God. Like Yashoda Mata. So Yashoda Mata tied the belly of Krishna with the rope of her love. Just some time back, you see this picture, last picture is Yashoda Mata chasing Krishna and trying to tie Krishna. Just 2 pictures back, Yashoda Mata just saw the entire universe within the belly of Krishna. Entire universe is there within the belly of Krishna, and Yashoda Mata tied that belly of Krishna. Means she brought not only Krishna, entire universe under her control. Right? Entire universe came under her control. So devotee can become greater than God. Not every devotee, Vatsalya Bhakta, that kind of devotee. So, Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasava Bhritya. Everybody is a servant of Krishna. Krishna is the only master, but everyone else is servant. And Krishna is controlled by that servant. Bhritya Vashyata. He has this quality of Bhritya Vatsalyata. Means he is controlled by his Bhritya. Evam sandarshita hyanga harina Bhritya Vashyata swavashena pi Krishnena yasyedam seshwaram vashe. Sukadeva Goswami says, Evam sandarshita hi anga harina Bhritya Vashyata. The Lord wanted to demonstrate this quality. What is that quality? Bhritya Vashyata. I am controlled by my devotees. The Lord wanted to announce that I have this quality. So, he demonstrated this Damodar Leela. But although the Lord is Hari, is Bhritya Vashyata, he is controlled by the affection of his devotees, not every Bhritya can control him. Technically, everybody is a Bhritya. Ekale Ishvara Krishna Arasabha Bhritya. That means Krishna is controlled by every Bhritya? No. That Bhritya who is in the mood of being a Bhritya, who has intense love for Krishna, such Bhrityas can control Krishna. Technically, everybody is Bhritya, but in the conditioned state, the Bhritya is not having the conception of being a Bhritya, servant. But the conditioned soul is having the conception of being a master, controller, enjoyer, proprietor, etc. Therefore, such Bhrityas cannot control Krishna. That's what the sloka says here. Chari bhavera bhaktayata krishnatara vasha. Vasha means to be controlled. Bhakta vashyata. Krishna is controlled by a devotee who is in one of these four rasas, one of these four emotions. So, example is very vividly seen in Yashoda Mata's Damodar Leela, where she tied Krishna, bound Krishna. No more playmates for you, no more toys for you, no more milk products for you, no more movement for you. Just stay here till my anger calms down. So, Yashoda Mata is a Vatsalya Bhakta, and amongst many other Vatsalya Bhaktas, her position is topmost. In the prayers of Queen Kunti, Kunti Mata says, Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. She says, Krishnaya Vasudevaya. Krishna, you are the son of Vasudev, one Vatsalya Bhakta. Devaki Nandanaya cha. You are son of another Vatsalya Bhakta, that is Devaki Mata. Vasudeva and Devaki, they have given birth to Krishna. Then, Nanda Gopakumaraya, you are also the son of Nanda Maharaj. Govindaya Namo Namaha. In one shloka, she remembered the names of three Vatsalya Bhaktas. Nanda Maharaj, Vasudeva and Devaki. But she did not mention the name of Yashoda Mata. She thought that, let me give a separate exclusive shloka for Yashoda Mata. After a couple of prayers, she says, Gopya dade tvai kritagasidha matavad yate dashastru kalilanjana sambhramaksham vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanaya sthitasya samam vimohayati bhirapi yad bibheti. She gives one long shloka exclusively glorifying Yashoda Mata. She says, Gopya dade tvai kritagasidha matavad, that gopi, Srimati Yashoda Mata. Tvai kritagasi, agasi means offenses. Krita agasi means Krishna, you have committed so many offenses. What are the offenses committed by Krishna? He broke the butter pot, he escaped, he stole butter, he distributed butter to monkeys, he ran in the streets of Vrindavan and allowed Yashoda Mata to run behind him, not being caught. And finally, when Mother Yashoda caught him, he started speaking so many lies in front of Mother Yashoda. Like that, so many such offenses Krishna has committed. Damatavad, because Krishna committed so many mistakes, Yashoda Mata wanted to bind Krishna. Gopya dade tvai kritagasidha matavad yate dashashru kalilanjana sambhramaksham. Kalilanjana sambhramaksham. Seeing that beautiful form of Krishna, which has tears in his eyes. Our Kunti Mata is imagining that form of Krishna. When Yashoda Mata is trying to punish you, scold you, Sambhramaksham, your eyes were filled with terror. And you are trying to wipe your tears. Whenever Krishna becomes sad or he cries, Yashoda Mata takes her cloth and wipes the tears of Krishna. Oh, don't cry, don't cry. But this time Yashoda Mata became so strict that she is not wiping the tears of Krishna. Krishna had to wipe his own tears with his own hands. Karakamala, with his two hands. Now, Sambhramaksham, his eyes were filled with terror. Vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanaya sthitasya. Vaktram niniya means Krishna has bent his head low. Niniya bhaya bhavanaya, with his fear in his eyes, he is standing there, sthitasya. Who would bend his head low? A criminal. In the court, in front of judge. In this court of Vrindavan, Yashoda Mata is the judge, jury panel. Krishna is the criminal, and Krishna's future is there in Yashoda Mata's hands. Vaktram niniya bhaya bhavanaya sthitasya samam vimohayati bhirapi yad bibheti. Even fear personified becomes fearful of Krishna, but that Krishna is fearful of little stick in the hand of Mother Yashoda. That is the glory of Vatsalya Bhakti, unlimited affection towards Krishna. When Uddhava was sent as a messenger by Krishna to Vrindavan to console his parents, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata, then Uddhava got this opportunity to see the highest epitome of parental affection towards the Lord. Yashoda Mata was unable to speak a single word. She only had tears in her eyes. You can read 10th canto, 46th chapter. Then Nanda Maharaj started speaking. He was missing Krishna. He was recollecting all the pastimes that Krishna did in Vrindavan. And he says that, Uddhava, does Krishna ever remember us? Uddhava, will Krishna ever come back to Vrindavan? Does he remember his cows, beloved cows? He has destroyed so many demons here and protected us in so many ways, just as Gargamani predicted. Now we are missing him so much. Like that, he expresses so much of his Vatsalya Bhava in front of Uddhava. Whole night passes like that. So this is the glory of Vatsalya. Then final is Sringara Rasa. So it's a very exalted emotion towards the Supreme Lord. And the gopis are the epitome of the Sringara Rasa. This Madhurya Bhav is experienced or expressed in two flavors, Swakiya and Parakiya. Swakiya is the wedded love, and Parakiya is the unwedded love. Here is gopis, here are the queens of Vrindavan. But if you see, as I said in the beginning, 15-20 minutes, this emotion of being a servant of Krishna is common amongst the devotees of all rasas. There was a great meeting, Prabhupada writes in Krishna book, there was a great meeting between Draupadi Mata and all the queens of Krishna at Kurukshetra, 10th canto. You can see 80 to 83 chapters. In that meeting, our Draupadi asked the queens of Krishna, how did you get married to Krishna? May I know your marriage story? Then Rukmini Devi spoke her story, how Krishna kidnapped her, how she wrote a love letter to Krishna, and then Brahmana took that letter to Krishna and read, and Krishna came and kidnapped Rukmini. Then Satyabhama spoke her story. Then Jambavati spoke her story. But all these queens who were narrating their wonderful stories of their getting married to Krishna, at the end of their narration, they said that I just want to be a humble, menial maid servant of Krishna in his palace. I want to just render service to his lotus feet. All of them, although they are queens of Krishna, they are intimately connected to Krishna. They are very much looking forward to serve the lotus feet of Krishna like a maid servant. So the emotion of being a servant is present in all the devotees of all rasas, even Sringara Rasa. Then coming to the gopis of Vrindavan. The gopis of Vrindavan also wanted to render service to Krishna. When Krishna is just going away from Vrindavan, apparently, when Akrura comes to take Krishna away, then all the gopis were feeling intense separation from Krishna. They were expecting that some elder would intervene and stop Akrura's chariot, but nobody did it. Then the gopis themselves came out, blocked the path of Akrura. Some gopis were catching the wheels of Akrura's chariot. Some gopis were catching the driver of Akrura's chariot. Some people were even beating Akrura. And some people were catching Krishna and crying. Some gopis were catching Balaram and they were crying. Krishna said, don't worry, I'll come back very soon. If the gopis are confident that the devotees at Mathura will be able to render service to Krishna perfectly, the gopis wouldn't have any problem. Gopis would allow Krishna to go to Mathura. But the gopis of Vrindavan were convinced that Krishna gets the best quality service only in Vrindavan and through us. That makes Krishna happy. And this happiness Krishna would miss in Mathura. Therefore, we want him to stay back in Mathura. That is their emotion. So the eagerness to render service to Krishna it finds its epitome in the gopis of Vrindavan. They don't consider any selfish enjoyment for themselves. They always want to see Krishna happy. For giving Krishna happiness even for a moment, they don't mind undergoing unlimited austerity and pain for the rest of eternity to make Krishna happy for even for one moment. The epitome of that servitude can be seen in the gopis of Vrindavan. Further, seeing the wonderful display of their emotions for Krishna, their love for Krishna, even great exalted personalities like Uddhava, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they also are describing the gopis' pastimes with Krishna. There is no trace of lust there. There is complete spiritual love. Uddhava said, Asamaho charana renu jushamaham syam vrindavane kimapi gulma lataushadhinam yadustyajam swajanamarya patham chahitva bhejurmukinda padavim shrutibhirvimrugyam. Asamaho charana renu jushamaham syam. I want the dust from the lotus feet of all these devotees of Vrindavan. Charana renu. If I ask them directly, they will not give. They are simple village devotees and I am coming from Dwarka city, from Mathura city, a great prince. They would feel very humble and simple at heart that they wouldn't offer their dust to me. So I have an idea to get their dust. What is that idea? Vrindavane kimapi gulmalata aushadhinam. I will become a gulmalata, aushadhi, a herb or a shrub or a little grass in Vrindavan, so that I would naturally get the dust from the lotus feet of all these devotees of Vrindavan. Yadustyajam swajanamarya patham chahitva bhejur mukunda padavim shrutibhirvimrugyam. They have given up all their family connections and Vedic rules and regulations and societal pressures, etc., just to render service to Krishna. Swajanamarya patham chahitva. They have given up everything. Bhejur mukunda padavim shrutibhirvimrugyam. That position of being a servant of Krishna is being searched after, sought by, pursued by even Shrutis also, but gopis effortlessly got it. So much so that Krishna said that Naparayeham niravadya samyujam. I have no ability to repay the debt that I owe you. Even if you give me one full day of Brahma to repay the debt I owe you, I won't be able to. You be satisfied with your own devotional service. Now these are very, very exalted topics. Now let's discuss something which is on the sadhaka level. If you see the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, one of the first teachings given by Sutta Goswami is this. The first chapter is just the questions asked by the sages of Naimisharanya. Then Sutta Goswami begins to speak in the second chapter. One of the first statements that Sutta Goswami said was, Ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradhokshaje. Ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Savai pumsam paro dharmo, the supreme dharma of every living being is yato bhaktiradhokshaje. Devotional service unto Adhokshaja Krishna. And that devotional service must be performed ahaituki, without any material motivations, without any ulterior desires, without any personal agendas. Apratihata, without any interruptions or inconsistencies or breaks or irregularities. When our service to Krishna is unmotivated and uninterrupted, selfless and seamless, causeless and ceaseless, that will lead to ultimate satisfaction of heart. Yayatma suprasidati. Atma suprasidati. The heart is completely satisfied only by unmotivated and uninterrupted service to Krishna. Coming back to the case of the gopis, where Krishna told the gopis, I have no ability to repay you. I feel so bankrupt in offering any any payment or any reciprocation for the selfless service that you have done. May you be satisfied with your own selfless devotional service. Let's connect it to ahituki apratihata. When a devotee renders selfless, unmotivated devotional service unto Krishna, that service completely satisfies the heart of a devotee, so much so that even Krishna does not have anything else in his stock to offer to that devotee more than that satisfaction. The satisfaction of selfless devotional service is the ultimate satisfaction available in the entire cosmos, and beyond that satisfaction of selfless bhakti, Krishna doesn't have anything else. That's what he told the gopis. And we are on the path of cultivating that ahituki bhakti. Even great Atmaramas are also looking forward to render ahituki bhakti unto Krishna. Atmaramascha munayo nirgrantha apyurukrami kurvantya ahitukim bhaktim itham bhuta guno harihi. Somebody may be Atmarama. Prabhupada writes elaborate purport in the first canto, 7th chapter, 10th shloka. Atmarama, multiple definitions. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives 61 explanations to this one shloka, Atmaram shloka, in the 24th chapter of Madhya Leela. Atmarama means one who is self-satisfied. He doesn't need anything beyond himself for his satisfaction. He's Atmarama. Muni means very thoughtful sage. Nirgrantha means one who has nothing to do with any grantha. Means, example is Mrgari. No scripture. They're in their own world. So whether somebody is an Atmarama or Muni or Nirgrantha, they are helplessly attracted to Krishna's qualities and they perform ahituki bhakti. Kurvanti ahitukim bhaktim itham bhuta guno harihi. They perform ahituki bhakti. That's the sweetness of ahituki bhakti. To conclude our hour-long discussion, let us seek the blessings of Srila Prabhupada and Sri Sri Radha Ras Bihari and Gaurnitai for developing that mood of selfless devotional service, imbibing that spirit of ahituki bhakti, and render service to Krishna with absolutely no expectation in return. And the shloka describes the 4 great rasas, Dasyarasa, Sakhyaras, Vatsalyaras Madhuryaras. Of all these rasas, the common thing is the emotion of being a servant of Krishna, the eagerness to render service to Krishna in a selfless spirit, service without any selfish considerations. That's the aspiration of a devotee, and that's the swarupa of a devotee. Jivera swarupahai Krishnera nityadas. To be a servant of Krishna is our real identity. Our real identity is to be a servant of Krishna. Let's imbibe the emotion of being a servant of Krishna by engaging ourselves in various services of Krishna under the guidance of senior servants of Krishna and the blessings of Srila Prabhupada. With this I'll conclude. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any comments?
Thank you very much for nectarian and wonderful class and presentation. Once again, thank you. We left Talasari 5 o'clock, came here like 8:30, feeling tired. But your class is so nectarian that I sat down for a whole class. Now, this payar does not mention about Santa. It talks only about 4 rasa. And we know that there are 5 rasa. So, Santa does not mean that Krishna is not captured by the devotee who are in Santa. Santa means Santa, it's silence, always silence. In Braj, all the rasas are prominent. Even Santa rasa is very prominent. As he said in class that the gopis, they wanted to stay there in form of Gulmlata. In fact, they are there till today. After Krishna left the planet, all the Maheshi, they were very desperate to see Krishna. And finally, they came, Narada said, that they came to Braj and they performed kirtan where Uddhava, they wanted to see Krishna once in their lifetime. And then it was told that you go to Braj. And then Uddhava is living in the form of Kulnata. And when you do kirtan, he will come out and he will speak Bhagavatam. And when he speaks Bhagavatam, Krishna appears from Bhagavatam because you are not different from Bhagavatam. So the great devotee of Braj, they stay in form of, the Gulmlata. Even Narad and Shiva, they desire to take birth in Braj, in different tree. So all those trees are not ordinary tree. I remember when we were in Vrindavan in 77, I believe. We came from village and we have habit of doing that one from neem twig. So I used to climb up and break the neem twig. So one devotee, he told me, I think maybe Akshanand Swami, somebody told me that all these trees are not ordinary. They are the demigod or they are great devotee. They are taken birth in Braj. So don't do this harming of plucking the neem stick for making a twig. So same the cows, they are in Santa. So all those devotees in Sakhyaras, they are also great devotee, and Krishna is under their control. He called Govinda, who gives pleasure of the cow, and he has a lot of pastime with the cows in Braj, Giraj Govardhan, and many other. So Santa is there, not that it's not there. So the devotees should understand that four rasa is there, does not mean Santa is not there, Santa is also there. But just it is hidden. Just it is hidden. Other thing in Braj, there is no scope of Aishwarya. Krishna has changed away Aishwarya. Aishwarya only appears in Braj if somebody gets doubt in Madhurya, like Jasoda. She got doubt in the Madhurya that Krishna ate dirt. And then she saw whole universe. Brahma got doubt. Is he the same Supreme Personality of Godhead? Brahma got doubt. Is he the same Supreme Personality of Godhead? And as Raghupati Upadhyaya said, whom should I go and say that Krishna is hunting the gopis on the bank of Jamuna? So nobody will believe. Brahma did not believe. So Aishwarya came. So Aishwarya is not there at all in Braj, but only Madhurya is there. And in Madhurya, one does not see Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Dasya, he can climb on the shoulder because he doesn't see that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. In service. And when there is a Madhurya in the service with a servant or master, then there is no formality left there. Become very close, and Prabhupada gave example of that Mr. Mukherjee or Banerjee who had his driver, and the driver was best friend of Mr. Mukherjee. He did not even reveal his heart to his wife and children, but he used to reveal his heart to his driver. So a driver is servant, but relationship is such. So in Braj, even Dasya, Madhurya, you see Madhuryamai Dasya, same Madhuryamai Sakhya, same Madhuryamai Vatsalya, and then Madhuryamai Shringar. All are Madhuryamai in Braj. Thus they don't see Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whereas in Mathura and Dwarika and other places, there is Ishwarjamai. Dasya, they are ready. Yes, my Lord. The service they are doing, but Ishwarjamai. Sakhya, like Arjuna and other, they also, they are friend, but same time, they have Ishwarya. They keep the distance also. Same way Vatsalyamai, Devaki, the milk did not come from her breast by seeing Krishna. But in Gupta Vrindavan, according to the Bhagavatamrita, when she wanted to see her sixth son, and when Krishna brought those six sons, then milk started coming. Because there she did not see Aishwarya in those six children. But she saw Aishwarya in Krishna, thus milk did not come. Krishna was the youngest one. Six were killed before, he was the youngest one. But still milk did not come. But he also Aishwaryamai and Singar, Satyabhama, Rukmani and all these things. They had, Aishwarya. So in Braj, there is only Madhurya, nothing else. Therefore, the devotee of the Lord, they like to associate more or being more with the devotee who are of Brajavasi or Braj nature. That's the beauty. Anyway, other thing, everything was very nice. Each sloka can be explained for hours. Like you say the word prasanta, and I think Baldev Vidyabhushan. I exactly remember. It in this sloka, Jitatmana prasantasya paramatma samahrita. So there I describe prasanta means one who has connection with Krishna. He is prasanta. Not that people who have control of mind are prasanta. There are many yogis, they control their mind, but they are not prasanta. They also, come here. But devotee of the Lord, who has nothing but only Krishna, they are prasanta. Not only they have controlled their mind, they have controlled their everything. So that's why I thought, just addition. Not that what you say is wrong, but if that's the ordinary meaning, one who has control of mind is the prasanta. But Baldev Vidyabhushan says, one who has connection with Krishna is the prasanta. So his mind, his intelligence is not, there is no kubudhi and subudhi, only subudhi is there. So like that.
Gnatva mam shantim richati.
Huh?
Gnatva mam shantim richati. Understanding.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any other question or comment? Yes.
You can see in the Braj Leela and comparing Mother Jashoda with Radharani, we see Mother Jashoda is so fortunate. Directly and visibly she is serving every day, bathing, clothing, decorating, and feeding and massaging. Visually she is serving every day. Comparing with Radharani, Mother Jashoda is so fortunate, but still Radharani's service is superior to Mother Jashoda. And Mother Jashoda also, in the separation of Lord Krishna, she is also crying day and night, but still Radharani's service is superior. How we can understand what service Radharani perform?
As we discussed, I'll try, Prabhu. Maybe, Prabhu, you can answer. That's better instead of me.
One answer. All services are superior in Braj. Nobody is superior in Krishna's eyes. If somebody is Dasya, Krishna sees among all Dasya who is superior. Somebody in Vatsalya is superior. Superiority is not from our side. Superiority comes from Krishna's side. Whom he sees, by whose service he is pleased, that is the superiority, not that by our service. Lalita Vishakha were very expert, but Krishna was pleased by Radharani, so they were pushing Radharani in front of Krishna. So Krishna is the one who is the parikshak, who gives the mark, who is superior. So in his eyes, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, everyone is superior. And thus, devotee of the Lord in Braj, they say, oh, how fortunate, one who Dasya, who said in Sakhya, how fortunate he is that Krishna likes him to climb on his, shoulder. And then one who is in Sakhya, he said, oh, how fortunate is that devotee who is serving, giving massage to Krishna, who is in Dasya. So that's the beauty of Krishna consciousness. That's the beauty of whom Krishna has accepted. Those devotees are always Trinadapi Sunichara, they are humble. But Krishna has made them so proud, the others see him greater than him. That's beauty. So there's no comparison between Radharani and Mother Jasoda. Radharani, Jasoda is the greatest. She fed Krishna her breast. Can Radharani feed Krishna her breast? No. She fed Krishna her breast. So how great she is. And then Radharani says, then Radha says, how Radharani is so great that Krishna has become Lattu after her. Wherever he goes, he goes. So, this is the transcendental, you can say, glorification of devotees in Braj. That's how we see.
Thank you.
But you can shed some light.
It's perfect and complete. Nothing more to add. Because Krishna is Akhila Rasamrita Murti, and he can receive the love and affection and service of different devotees in different flavors, in different moods. And he values every single service done by every single devotee in different moods. So they are of different categories of rasas. We may not consider one as superior, one as inferior, but everybody is serving. Thank you. Hare Krishna. I think it's getting late. We'll stop here. I need to go to GV now. Thank you very much. Grantharaj. Huh? GV. Hare Krishna. I'm going to the forest. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.